Hello everybody, Dad's Gaming with your host ZHP 2004, and we are back with another edition of some Forza Motorsport 7. Gonna run 2 races here in the Endurance GT. Not gonna bring the full races, just some clips. More or less the races were kind of quiet, minus maybe that. So, I'm gonna talk a little bit about pit strategy and when is a good time, when it's not a good time to take a pit. And right now we're running around back here. Didn't start off good, but again, endurance GTs, long races, you don't have to make everything happen in the first lap. Bide your time, get your tires warmed up, get into a rhythm, and make the most of it and have fun. That's what the games are about. It's about having fun. So once again, surprise surprise, we're in the ZR1 Corvette. Not going to talk much about the update that's happened. A lot of people have been talking about the update with the track limits and the new drift tuning options that you have. Not going to really get into that. It's been talked about so much. If you guys really want to hear about it, let me know, and we can dive into it a little bit. So, but big thing here is pit strategy, and there's 4 guys here right in front of me, and I'm really not going to want to get into that battle. I'm going to jump into the pits early. Here we are. We're only going to be starting lap 3, and it's a 15 lap race, but just looking at the way the guys were battling, I really wasn't sure if I wanted to jump in that mix here at Homestead. So we'll take our pit early, which again, it gets me out of traffic. I'll be able to just run my line, run my laps, set decent times. For some reason, coming out of that pit lane, they'd like to slow down, and then you have to get back on gas. So we're going to run around here last place, but I know everybody else has to take their pits. So if they're constantly battling, it's going to slow them down, and we can make up time on the track and get back past them when they're taking their pit stops, and we'll see how much we can capitalize. Again, we were in 6th place when we took the pit stop, so we'll see how it goes here later on. And yeah, that's more or less it at the moment. I apologize, guys. Something weird going on here. So I kind of noticed, and I don't know if it's just me or if something else happened with the updates, my tune felt a little off on this car. I drive this car a lot, probably more so than any other of the Endurance or Forza GT cars. And something just felt a little off in this race. Another race that I did the other night, I went in, did a little retuning, see if I could kind of get the feel back for it. So I don't know if there was something else. Again, it could just be me, running a series of different other cars. But so we're just going to run down through here and maybe try to make up another spot. We made up 1 spot on track, somebody went wide, so we're just here by the Lambo. I kind of lock it up, went wide, got a couple wheels on the grass, lose a little bit of space, and we'll catch back up to him, see what we can do down here on the short straight. And guys, I apologize while I'm recording this. I'm just watching the replay of the video as I'm editing it, doing the voiceover, and it's kind of lagging here during the replay. So, but we're going to get up here, get past the Lamborghini, and we'll come down here to the hairpin and get down through here. And the thing is, eventually you can see the tire wear. Tire wear this race was going to be critical. I took that pit so early, and tire fall off. Again, maybe it's just me. I noticed a little bit more performance impedance, I guess we'll say, as the tires fall off that maybe I didn't notice before. Maybe I just wasn't aware. Maybe my driving style's changed a little bit since then. But we're going to jump ahead here and to lap 10. And as you can see, we've gotten past everybody by taking that early pit stop. Everybody took later pit stops. So we're here lap 10. We're just going to jump ahead here. Lap 14. And again, we're still in first. But as you can see, my tires, I've been running them now since lap 3. And we're going to be coming up here on the last lap. So 12 laps on these tires. And you can see second place, he's closed it up. Again, I wasn't the fastest guy on the track. But I was able to make the most of that early pit stop. And we're going to try to keep that guy behind us. And we got this one guy here in front of us. We're going to eventually try to work around him. He's not really slowing me up too much, but there goes first place in the Aston Martin. I believe that's the Aston or the Jag. One of the two. I apologize. He's going to get past us here. Back markers, I don't know if he got bumped wide or he just drove it too deep, wound up in the grass. But we're going to try to hang with the Jag here and see if we can't quite, get a battle going for the last lap. Maybe we can reclaim that first place position. And he had a decent car. That car, it's a very well handling car. And at this point, my tires were kind of giving up on me. I really had used them. I hadn't saved them up during the race. And I was kind of slipping and sliding, up out of the corners. Just couldn't quite get the power down. Even though, I did probably set my fastest first sector there by trying to chase this guy down. This might have even been my fastest lap. But just didn't quite have the car to catch him. As you can see, he gets up out of the corner and he pulls. He gets a couple hundred feet on me. We're going to come back down here to the hairpin. We'll get it slowed down, locked up a little bit. We'll get it turned in. But again, up off the corner, he just gets up and goes. I slide the back end out a little bit. So it looks like we're probably going to settle for a second place finish here. Out of 9 drivers, I think we were 7 drivers. We started with, I think originally about 10. There might have been 11. I think somebody quit real early. I didn't get the capture of the initial start of the race, but nothing really happened. So we're going to finish this up with a second place finish. Not bad for the first race of the night, but we're going to jump to the second race here at Spa. So as you know, we have that sharp hairpin down at this first turn. We're going to start off here, third place, and we'll just see how this goes. Spa is a track that I really never knew of before this boat, and yeah, we got hit. Again, I don't know if they changed any of the damage physics that you take during the race. I thought for sure I was gonna, have some serious damage after that collision. I never did go back to look and see what happened there, but we got through pretty well, and we're coming up the hill. Gonna be here in second. Gonna have a decent battle. We're gonna try to chase this guy down, see if we can't get a lead. But I got to keep in mind, we got a couple guys right here behind us, and I really should have changed down to third gear when I finally get down to third gear there. Get a little smoke on the tires, take this way too shallow, and the guy in third, he's going to come up alongside that BMW, and I'm going to go the long way around the outside. I'll concede second place to him and drop in line. Again, it's the first lap of the race. There's not much of a reason to really, I guess, push too hard. Tires are still warming up. The car really hasn't, settled in at this point yet. As we get in, later on, probably towards the end of the lap, everything's kind of warmed up. Starts feeling a little better. So, I'm still pushing. I'm going to try to keep this guy close, see if I can get him to, feel a little pressure, maybe slip up. But we're going to come down here to the right-hander, and we're going to get under him. He goes a little wide, and we're going to come into the second right-hander, and I go in a little too hot. I go wide. He gets past me. So we're going to come down to another, the last not straight before the final chicane. And again, we're just going to sit here, third place. Really didn't see anybody else behind me. And we're going to run 9 laps of this. So we'll see how it goes. We'll get down through here in the chicane. We get closed up on first place. And everybody gets through pretty clean. And I'm going to sit back here. Again, these guys are going to battle. And that's kind of a key, I don't want to say a strategy, I've kind of come into just using is, keep close. Even if you're not the fastest guy, keep close. And, just wait for the battle. If these guys keep battling, they'll slow themselves up. You'll catch up. And we're going to, come back up through here. And, well, they kind of took each other out and hand me first place there. So and here we are. We're only lap 2, so it's still a long race. So I was in first place pretty much the entire race here. Not much more happened for quite a while. So we're going to jump forward. Lap 7, coming up towards probably 3/4 of the way through lap 7 of 9. And I noticed, my tires getting kind of worn out. They're in the yellow. And I could just feel the car just kind of wanting to slide around a little bit. And knowing I had to take a pit stop, I didn't have a reason to take a pit stop early or even midway through the race. I just would have wound up in traffic. And there wasn't really need to do that. You're faster running by yourself, typically. So, but I am going to probably shoot in here at the end of this lap. We'll take our pit stop. We'll get the fresh tires with 2 to go. So I'm not expecting a really fast out lap. Again, the car, coming into the pits with the AI taking over, just kind of goes and drives into the wall. Really didn't cost me anything. And even if it took damage, we're going into the pits, it would get repaired anyway. So we can see the guy back here, second place. Gonna close up. I'm gonna concede the lead. Nice thing here is though that you can see he hasn't taken his pit stop yet, so that tells me I don't need to chase this guy down. I just need to stay close. But here we go. We can see third place and probably 4th and 5th back there also. So we'll come out here in second. First place isn't that terribly far ahead. But again, I know he needs to take his pit at the end of this lap. So I'm going to get the lead back. So for all things considered, yeah, I'm in the lead. And yes, I did cut that. I haven't actually looked to see what the new track limits are in that area. I can't imagine that they've taken too much out of it. Although they've taken quite a bit out of some of the other tracks, Sebring and whatnot. So we're gonna, just put in a decent lap, keep the car from, getting bashed up, and keep the tires down, and get our lap in, and we'll see how much of a gap after this guy takes his pit. We'll see if we close up at all. His tires got to be pretty worn out. And, I'm on cold tires, so it's fairly even at this point. And third place really isn't gaining at all. So, after, like I say, after the second lap, didn't see anybody really the rest of the race. So that's really why I didn't bring the whole race to you. I didn't. You guys just watch me driving around by myself. Maybe there'll be another race where I don't use pit strategy and we just try to see how many people we can pass on the track. Maybe they should invoke a pit window type of scenario You guys can let me know what you think about that, whether that's a good idea, bad idea, if you like using pit strategy, if you don't like using pit strategy. But we'll pretty much concede at this point that I'm going to take the win, minus, unless I really botch something up, crack a wall, you know, wind up in the grass, spin it out. But at this point, you know, everything's warmed up on the car. There's really no reason that I shouldn't take the win here. There we go. We just take the lead back over. Second guy that was in the lead, obviously, he had to take his pit. And we're just going to run the last lap here. And maybe see if we can actually get a clean lap. I don't know if I had a clean lap during the race or not. I think I did somewhere midway through it. We were just kind of on cruise control, you know, for half the race, like I said. And, you know, getting through there, actually, that was clean. So you can still cut that a little bit. Like I said, I'm not quite sure by how much. But we'll just see if we can keep it on the track here for the rest of the lap. We'll come up here, get on the brakes, get down to third. Get up through here, through the right-hander. And just keeping it in third as far as, you know, the way my tune goes. Up the fifth. Come down here for a long, sweeping right-hander. Again, back down to third. Third gear, I found, you know, works really well in this car for many corners, you know, sweepers. Try not to get it down to second unless it's a, you know, really sharp corner, kind of, you know, first corner would be the only place I probably drop down to second. And obviously your tunes may vary, but that brings up another thing, you know, find tunes that work for you. If you're not a tuner, I'm not much of a tuner, but I'll go out, you know, grab one or two tunes, drive the car, see what I like, see what I don't like, and then, you know, take a stab at finding a good median and, you know, a tune of my own. Or if you're fortunate enough, find a tuner whose, I guess, driving style is similar to yours, and try to, you know, use theirs whenever you can. I've done that myself, but yeah, for the past couple cars, I've just made my own tunes. But we're going to come down here through the chicane for the final time. And it's very convincing first place finish here. So that's 2 endurance races, guys. I appreciate everybody watching. Like, subscribe, tell your friends. If there's something in particular you want to see, let me know. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.